he said that while he was there in the temple, their lifestyle completely changed. Where early in the morning they would get up and do a ritual chants and sayings, but this was early in the morning. They said he doesn't remember exactly what time. They just rang a bell and then they would get up all at the same time, and it was him and a bunch of his brother and other novice monks, as he put it. They would do this every morning, and then they would also eat breakfast at around 7:30. He said, and what they do for breakfast, that they would get two big black bowls or big black basins, and he would take one basin, and it would be filled with food, and another basin that would be filled with money. And they take these basins out to the street and sort of say, beg for their food and money. But the people were so used to the Buddhist monks doing this, now that they would just line up along the streets with food and money just to give it to them every morning. And they would eat it, and they would what would happen is they'd go to this this eating place, and they would eat all their food, and the monks would eat off of a table, and then what they would do is, if they didn't eat it, the food was, so to say, to be cleansed, to be holy, to be good food, to be healthier, and it would be for anyone to eat that would eat of it afterwards. And it was very interesting, very cool. I would love to have seen that type of situation go down. One of the last things that my friend talked about was how while he was there in the Buddhist temple, like they could eat no later after 11 o'clock in the morning. The only thing they could have was dairy, liquids like water and stuff, so that they could sustain life throughout the rest of the day. And he said that as novice monks, they could have the afternoon free as long as they wouldn't eat anything, but could only drink, and they could hang out with each other and whatnot. But in the evenings, again, they would go down to another ritualistic chants and sayings and go together as a group, and it was really cool. He did this day in and day out for, he said, for about 3 to 4 weeks, and he ended up missing a few weeks of his first semester of school when his parents suddenly pulled them out of the Buddhist temple, and they flew back home the same day here to Albuquerque. They had been taken in so suddenly and taken out so suddenly, they didn't even get to see the reactions of what the others around them would have done. And the others, when they got there, they had embraced them quite openly, and I would assume that they did the same when they left. Now that my friend he's actually a junior in college. After that year, he had strayed away from the Buddhist tradition and actually almost completely left it. His mother still follows the Buddhist tradition. His father no longer, and his brother no longer follows the Buddhist tradition. Now with the influence in his life, they still go back for their birthday ceremonies and certain holiday ceremonies, just in respect for their mom. But what is interesting to me is that he told me that the Buddhists, monks here in Albuquerque, still ask them like how church is going, how if they engaged in any other different traditions other than Buddhism. Then they said, then they encouraged it too. They asked them how it was going, wanted to know about their lives still. Still really comforting towards these people that had strayed away from the Buddhist tradition. And he said he doesn't mind going anymore, but it's kind of interesting because he's gone to the Buddhist. He went to the Buddhist temple just casually every once in a while with his mom, and now he goes to a Christian church here in Albuquerque, and he sees how opposite it is, how where the Buddhists encouraged you to go to church or other traditions just so that you could find the way on the eightfold path to gain enlightenment or nirvana, and is really cool. But like at the same time, the Christian church encourages you, not necessarily discourages you to go, but just so that you won't be, so you know that you know the real truth and the real way. And he's kind of seems to have an appreciation for all the traditions and rituals within his church, and why Christians do certain ceremonies also. And I found that really cool, that because of his experience in one tradition has affected his experience in others and in life in general. He did enjoy his experience, he said. He said it was very sudden, though, and it was very brief. Like I said, it only lasted a few weeks in the Buddhist temple, but he was born and raised in a Buddhist home until soon thereafter that funeral, and they no longer practiced Buddhism and ended up going to a Christian church. So that's about it